Hello students, I welcome you all to my YouTube channel, that's Akifa's Commerce Classes. So in today's session, we'll be discussing multiple choice questions on the chapter Principles of Management. Okay. So this particular chapter, it comprises of 8 marks. Okay. So let's start. Who is considered as the father of scientific management? Okay. So students, we should know that the father of scientific management is F.W. Taylor, that is Frederick Winslow Taylor. Okay. So who is the father of general management? The father of general management is Henry Fayol. Okay. Remember, scientific management F.W. Taylor, and of general management it is Henry Fayol. Okay. Now moving on to the next one. Harmony not discord principle is concerned with option A, management should share the gain of company with workers, B, investigation of task, C, scientific inquiry, and then observation and analysis. Okay. So here the correct answer is the first option, that is management should share the gain of company with workers. Okay. So according to harmony not discord, it says that the managers should serve as a link between the owner and the worker. Okay. It means that it is important that there is harmony among both the parties. Now here the parties that we have are the owner and the workers. It means both of them should work in harmony and there should not be discord between them. Okay. It means that the owner should not feel that they are superior to the workers, and the workers at the same time should not feel that they are the ones who are executing the plans. So if they do not do the work properly, then maybe the owner of the company will suffer and so on. So here both of them have to understand that they need each other. Okay. Until and unless they do not realize that there is a need from both the sides, there will always be discord. So here it is important that there should be harmony. Okay. Now here it is important that the management should share the gains of the company with the workers. Okay. And at the same time, it is also expected from the workers that they should work hard and be willing to embrace any changes that the company intends to take, which is good for the company. Okay, it means both of them should feel like they are a part of the family. If the worker feels that the management should share the profits of the company with them, at the same time the worker should also feel that they should work hard in order to achieve the goals of the company. Okay, so here the answer is A. Next is unity of direction is concerned with first one had one plan, then one had different plans, then planning by employee and planning by production manager. Okay. So here it's asked, what do you mean by unity of direction? Okay. So now by unity of direction, it means that every employee who is working should have a direction. Okay. And all the employees should move towards one common direction which is given to them. It means that if one employee, he is being given directions from different kind of heads, okay, different heads, then it will be difficult for that particular employee to understand. Okay. Now for example, if there is a company and if a company is manufacturing motorcycles as well as car, okay, so it is important that this company should have separate divisions for both of them. Okay. It means that each division, they should have their own in charge, they should have their own plans and own resources. Okay. Now there should not be overlapping of employees between these two separate divisions. Okay. There should be a differentiation between these two divisions, because once you mix the employees from this both divisions, it will lead to a chaos. Therefore, here the right answer is one head, one plan. It means one person should be directed only by one head. If there are two people who are guiding or directing one person, it may lead to a confusion and it may create a chaos. Okay. Next is aspirate the corps. So what does this mean? So the options are Gangplan, Gang Boss, Order, and Unity is Strength. So first of all, we should know the meaning of aspirate the corps. It means unity. Okay. So it is the duty of the management to promote team spirit and unity among the employees. Okay. So it will be possible when the manager replaces I with we in all the conversation that he has with his worker. So whenever he does this, This will give rise to mutual trust and belongingness among the team members. Okay. So here it is important that the manager should highlight the importance of being united, because as long as all the employees are together, as long as they are united, it is their biggest strength, because when the employees are divided, then they may not be in a position to achieve the common goal that they intend to achieve. Okay, because everybody will be working in different directions. So here the management or the manager has to remind them that here they are together as one team. Okay, and the management should promote a team spirit of unity and harmony among all the employees. Okay, this will lead to coordination in the work. Okay, so here the answer is unity is strength. Let's start with the sixth one. Gangplan is concerned with option A, contact not allowed, then indirect contact, direct contact and contact before application. Okay, so we should know that Gangplank is a part of the scalar chain. Okay, so here what happens is that this is the shorter route and it has been provided so that there is so that the communication is not delayed. Okay, like for example, if you are a worker, you cannot directly go and contact the CEO of the company. Okay, if at all you need to communicate something to the CEO, you will go to the former levels, like you will go to the foreman, then the manager, the director and so on. However, if there is an absolute emergency, then it is possible that the worker can directly go and speak to the CEO. So there is a direct contact. Okay, so here the answer is direct contact, that is option C. Next is, which of the following is not concerned with F.W. Taylor? Okay, so method study, motion study and time study, these three studies have been given by F.W. Taylor. Scalar chain is given by Henry Fayol, that is principles of management. So here the right answer is scalar chain. Next is, functional foremanship is concerned with which of the following? Marketing, division of work, insurance and Gangplan. Okay, now we should know that what you mean by functional foremanship. Okay, so according to Taylor, what he believed is that if he wants to improve the performance of the factory, then he needs to improve the role of a foreman. Okay, it means that he listed a kind of a list wherein he listed the good qualities that a foreman or a supervisor should have. Okay, he said that there should be separation of planning and execution functions. Okay, it means that a factory manager, under a factory manager, there should be a planning in charge and then a production in charge. Then under planning in charge, there should be so and so people. Under production in charge, there should be so and so people working. So here he made a category. Okay, category of those who will plan the functions and category of those who will execute the functions. Okay, so here it was basically dividing the work among the employees. Okay, so here the right answer is division of work. Next is, the main objective of motion study is to provide more work to the workers, to separate planning function with other functions, to eliminate unproductive movement and to study the standard time. Okay, so here the right answer is option C, that is to eliminate unproductive movement. Okay, so first of all we should know that what do you mean by motion study. Okay, so motion study is a study wherein we study about different movements like lifting or putting objects or maybe sitting or changing positions and so on, which are required while you perform a particular job. Okay, so there are certain times wherein unnecessary movements are also something that takes place while doing a particular job. So unnecessary movements were sought to be eliminated. Okay, when unnecessary movements are eliminated, then the time required to complete a particular job will be less. Okay, so here motion study basically means that you have to eliminate unproductive movements. Okay, so here the answer is option C. Next, what is the main motive of fatigue study? Okay, options are calculation of standard time, calculation of standard output, calculation of frequent rest intervals to be given to the employees and direct contact. Okay, now what do you mean by fatigue study? Now any person is bound to feel tired physically and mentally if he or she is not taking rest while working. Okay, so it means that rest intervals are very important so that one person regains all the stamina and work again with the same capacity. So fatigue study, it basically means the required amount of time and the required amount of rest intervals that a particular person requires while completing a job. So here the right answer is option C, that is calculation of frequent rest interval to be given to a particular employee. Next is, which principle of management discusses about the root clerk and gang boss? Okay, so all this come under functional Formanship, wherein there was a division between who is going to plan the work and who is going to execute the work. Let's start with question number 12. Principle of order is concerned with which of the following? So before you look at the options, you should know what you mean by principle of order. So according to Fayol, he meant that there is a place for everything and everything should be in its place. It means to keep things in order. Okay, like for example, if I am a student, okay, and a very messy student. So if whenever I am studying, for example, if I am studying in the living room, then I will keep my book in the living room and then forget about it. Or if I am studying maybe on the terrace, I keep my book on terrace and I come down. So next time whenever I want to study, I have to search for the entire house where I kept my book. Okay, if I would keep the books on my study table, every time I study, no matter whichever room I be in, if I would just come and keep the book on my study table, then next time whenever I want to study, I know where exactly I will find my book. Okay, only if I kept it in a particular order. Okay, that is keeping it on the study table. So here, principle of order, it means that orderly arrangement of various resources. So here the right answer is A. Next is, which principle of management says that we should replace I with we? So this is said in option C, esprit de corps. Okay, I have explained this point earlier. Then which study determines the standard time taken to perform a well defined job? So here the answer is time study. Okay, so according to time study, we can know the standard time, okay, or the time that will be required to complete a particular job. So this is in time study that we know the standard time that will be required in order to complete a particular job. No matter how fast you do the work or how slow you are, there is a standard time that has been fixed, okay, and you have to complete the particular task according to the standard time given to you. Next is the study that refers to the study of movements like lifting, putting objects, sitting and changing positions is which one? The answer is motion study. Okay, we have discussed this earlier. Next is, how are principles developed? Okay, so the options are all the options on the basis of observation, experimentation and experiences. Okay, so here the answer is all the options, because principles are developed by considering all the options. Let's start with question 17. How many principles are given by Henry Fayol? So we should know that there are 14 principles of management given by Henry Fayol. Next is, Hina and Harsh are typists in a company who have the same educational qualifications. So Hina is getting 3,000 per month, whereas Harish is getting 4,000 per month as salary for same working hours. So which principle of management is violated here, and name the principle? First of all, here the answer is principle of fair remuneration. Okay. So according to this principle, it says that the overall pay and compensation should be fair or should be equal to both the employees in an organization. Okay, here it's clearly mentioned that both the employees, that is Hina and Harish, they have the same educational qualifications, okay, and they work for the same hour. Then there is still a difference in the salary that they are receiving. That is, Hina is receiving 3,000 and Harish is receiving 4,000. So here it is important that no discrimination is made among the employees on the basis of maybe their gender, their religion, caste and so on. It means that if there are two employees having same qualification and who are working for exact same time, it is important that they both are paid equally. So here the answer is option A. Next is, Henry Fayol was a mechanical engineer, a French doctor, a Russian mechanical engineer, or all the options. Okay, so the answer is mechanical engineer. Next is, Taylor's book on principle of scientific management was published in which year? So it was published in the year 1911. Okay, which principle of management is violated if an employee is asked to receive order from two superiors? So here the options are unity of command, principle of order, principle of equity, or all the options. Okay, so here first of all we should know that unity of command says that there should be one and only one boss for every individual in the employee. Okay, it means that if there is an employee who receives order from two superiors at the same time, then this principle of unity of command is said to be violated. Because here what will happen is that the particular employee will have no idea whom he is accountable or responsible to, because he is receiving orders from two individuals at one particular time. Therefore, this principle says that the command should be given to an individual employee only from one and one superior. No two superiors should be giving command to one particular employee. So here the right answer is principle of unity of command. Okay. Next is question 22. Workers should be encouraged to develop and carry out their plans for improvement. So identify the principle of management formulated by Phil. Okay. So here the right answer is initiative. Okay, why? Because here it says that the workers should be encouraged to develop and carry out their plans for improvement. So the principle of initiative says that it is important that the management should give a chance to the workers to be initiative. Okay. So initiative means taking the first step with self-motivation. It means that they should themselves think about the plans and different ways in which they can execute the plan. So to be initiative should be encouraged. Okay. Taking an initiative does not necessarily mean that they are going against the established practices or rules of the company. So a good company should always take suggestions from the employees. Okay. So whenever they take suggestions from the employee, what happens is that the employees feel motivated because they feel that they are kind of seen as a family, because even the opinions that they give matter. If there is a meeting and if the employees are not given a chance to talk or a chance to express whatever they intend to say, then this will demotivate them. Okay, and they will not even think of taking an initiative in the future. Therefore, it is always important that whenever any important decision has to be taken, you have to give kind of due importance to what the employees have to say or what suggestions they have to give. Okay, so here the answer is principle of initiative. Next is a manager will purchase 50 tons of raw fabric from his nephew in addition to other vendors in the market selling raw fabric. So the supervisor got the raw material for higher price than the market price from his nephew's shop. So which principle of control did the supervisor violate through doing so? So here the right answer is subordinating personal interest to general interest. Okay. First, let's know what's the meaning of subordinating personal interest to general interest. Okay. Students, we have to remember that the interest of the organization should always be first, and then the individual interest should follow. Okay, it means that every worker who joins the institution or who joins the organization has a certain individual interest. Okay, and at the same time the company has its own objectives that it intends to achieve. Okay, now here we have to see that the company should always be the priority for the employee. First it should be the company, and then whatever objective that the employee wants to achieve. Okay, so here in this example we can see that there is a manager. He had to buy 50 tons of fabric. Okay, he had various options available, but then still he chose to buy it from his nephew, even though he was getting it at a cheaper price through other vendors, but still he went on to buy it from his nephew. Why? Because he is related to him, and this is how he violated the principle, because here he did not think about the company, he thought about his nephew who is a relative to him. Though he is getting it at a higher price, still he bought it from the nephew. Okay, if for example if he was getting it at a lower price from some other vendor, he could have easily taken it from some other vendor because it would save that amount of money from the company's side. But here the manager did not think about the company. He first gave preference to his nephew and then the company. That's how this principle has been violated, and the right answer here is C. So let's start with question number 24. Deepak firms are interested in assembling automobile and other vehicle components. Okay, each of the object has its own workspace. Every department has its own charge, strategies and execution resources, which engage the targeted efforts of a large number of employees. So here we have to identify the board of directors rule as observed by the use of Deepak's firm here. So here we have to understand which principle has been used. Okay, if you read this question first, you will feel that here the answer will be order. Why? Because it's clearly stated that the Deepak firms, they are assembling automobiles and other vehicle components, and everything was kept exactly in their places. But here the answer is direction. Why? Because when we read the last statement, it says identify the board of directors rule. So what was the rule that was followed by the board of directors here? Here the answer is direction, because a proper and a correct direction was given to all the employees. Okay, and just because when they were given a correct direction, they exactly knew in which way they need to channelize their efforts, okay, which is very important. And this was the initiative that was taken by the board of directors, okay. So direction is also very important, because until and unless all the employees in an organization are not moving to the same objectives, then it may not be possible for the organization to achieve its objective, okay. So it is very important that all the employees are given one particular direction, okay. So it is important from the board of directors point of view that there is direction that is given to all the employees, and all the employees should be moving only towards one direction. So here the right answer is unity of direction. So moving on to the next one, functional foremanship is an extension of principle, and the options are authority and responsibility, division of work, unity of command, and discipline. So here the right answer is division of work, okay, because under functional foremanship it is important that the work was divided among those who will plan the work and those who will execute the work. So functional foremanship, you can say it is like an extension to division of work, okay, wherein the work was divided, okay. So here the right answer is B, that is division of work. So this is all about the chapter Principles of Management, and this chapter has the maximum marks, that is 8 marks. So I would say that in this chapter the things that you have to give more importance to is about, first you should know who is F.W. Taylor, who is Henry Fayol. You should know who is known as the father of scientific management and who is known as the father of general management, okay. Apart from this, you should know about the principles of scientific management, okay. There are 4 principles: science, not the rule of thumb; harmony, not discord; then cooperation, not individualism; and development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency. You should know what it means. Then there are different techniques of scientific management. We should know about them. We should just read them. Like for example, the most important ones are, you should know what you mean by method study, motion study, fatigue study, and time study, okay. Then you need to concentrate on the 14 principles of management. Now it is very important that you know to name them, okay. You may be given an option wherein maybe there are certain scientific principles which are given, and from there you have to identify which one is the odd one. It means you may get a shuffled question with options like you may have certain principles of scientific management and certain principles of management. So here you should know which are the principles of management and which are the principles of scientific management, okay. Then you should also know what it means, what every principle of management means. If you know the meaning also, it's more than enough, okay. You should know what does one particular principle mean, okay. Then it is easier. So I think this is all about this chapter. You need to concentrate very much on the principles of management, okay. You need to know what every principle of management states. So this is according to me. I feel that if you study this much, it would be sufficient for this chapter. And again I say that these are the important questions which I feel are important to me. So please don't be dependent only on these questions. And this was all for this session on principles of management. In the next session I may take up another chapter for multiple choice questions, and we'll solve multiple choice questions on the next chapter. So if there are any queries or anything that you all did not understand, then please put it down in the comment section. Also, if there are any feedbacks and suggestions, put them also in the comment section. And if you all like the video, then please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.